We're ready for the toss. Here it goes.
Heads. Heads is the call. It is a hen, Ricky.
Heads it is. Ricky Ponting has won the toss. What are you going to do, Ricky?
We're going to have a bowl this morning, mate, with the overhead conditions the way they are, and the wicket probably being still a few days behind, even after a couple of days of sun. Hopefully we can do some damage this morning.
Okay, for those that don't know, and there'll be a lot around the country, really bad news for you about half an hour ago.
Yeah, Glenn McGrath's rolled his ankle in the warm-up, which is obviously a bad sign. He's out of the game today. Michael Kasperwitz has come in for him. I guess the pleasing thing about it is that Casper took Pfeiffer in the tour game during the week, so he's in pretty good touch as well, and looking forward to seeing him bowl this morning.
Michael, how have your boys responded to the news?
Yeah, they've done well. We've practiced hard over the last 2 days. Obviously had a week in between the test matches, so looking forward to the game here at Edgbaston. We've played some good cricket over the last few years here, so we're looking forward to it.
Got to say, I meant the news about Glenn McGrath there.
Well, you know, the sniper tried to get me at Edgbaston on Tuesday. Unfortunate for him, but you know, we're just trying to look after our own performance. You know, we're quite happy to be batting. You know, just try and bat well today.
Now, seeing you both with smiling faces, I've got to ask you, a little bit of a fracas at times at Lords. Have you two settled your differences?
What happens on the field stays on the field, mate, you know that.
Exactly so.
407 England. Marcus Trescothick and Andrew Strauss got it going. Trescothick was really in his best form. Wonderful driving and cutting. Michael Vaughan looked in better touch, but surrendered meekly, really. Kevin Peterson and Andrew Flintoff, a marvellous, sparkling partnership that lit up the afternoon. And then some handy stuff from Ashley Giles, Matthew Hoggard, and an elegant, let me say, 17 from Steve Harmison, before Simon Jones made 19 to add to the fun at the end. Australia stuck at their task. They didn't bowl as well as they might have liked this morning, but they stayed in the game by taking wickets consistently. And Warne finishing with 4 for 116 to go with Michael Kasperwitz, 3 for 80 into the side because of Glenn McGrath's injury. Jason Gillespie, 2 for 91, better signs of form for him. And Lee, well, all over the place really, a 1 for 111 at the end of 17 overs. Only one maiden there. That's often a telling sign.
So the tail wagged again for England. Dean Jones and Greg Matthews have been watching all that with interest. I suppose if you're Ricky Ponting, you've got England 3-4-8 for 8 with Kevin Peterson back in the pavilion. You're thinking, right, game on.
Yeah, but at the same time, it just goes to show you that if you back yourself with the tail enders, they hit it pretty well. And to me, it was a pretty good track. It just shows you it's a pretty good track. 9 guys got starts. And it's a little bit of an ugly situation now for the 2 openers, isn't it, Greg? But you just got to... It looks a belter of a pitch.
You were annoyed, Mo, that the bowlers, in particular perhaps Brett Lee, didn't put the frighteners up the tail enders a wee bit more.
Well, yes and no. I just thought it was poor bowling generally. There wasn't just the regulation line and length. It just highlighted how much McGrath was missed. The entire innings amplified that. 5 runs per over. No one hit the towel. No one was hitting the top of off stump. Australia paid a heavy price. Having said that, 401. The highlight was the fact that a guy like Hoggard can bat for 50 balls for 16. That amplified how easy the wicket is. And yes, it's an uncomfortable time for Australia, but I'm sure they're happy just to be in the pavilion with 10 wickets down. The game is still very open. Both teams... England slight favourites, perhaps, because the runs are on the board.
Shouldn't lose from there, though. You shouldn't lose from there, England.
Think Australia...
You shouldn't lose from there, England.
Australia, 1981, Headingley, 401, mate, and they lost.
No, no, but you shouldn't lose.
Shouldn't lose from there, but English pessimism and all that. We haven't,
good to see a smile on your face too, Simon. Well done. Fantastic.
OK, England 407 all out, and we'll be back shortly with the start of the Australian reply.